This, call it the biggest beta midrash. Mhm. Who blew the shofar? Ben Melazar?
Yes.
And who was davening for the Ahmed? I wasn't here, Rosh Hashanah. You went to New Jersey? Who?
Very Frankel.
Harry Frankel's. He lives here?
No, he actually is relative. He wants a popcorn.
So he's a chazan. He came here to
Yeah,
the Shachris?
crackers and those.
Oh, wow.
And mine.
Oh, wow.
And I hear his father is going to be davening for Yom Kippur.
Here?
Yes.
The stop?
That is what Uri said. Or maybe they'll switch off.
Now I did educated them, right?
Yeah.
And Shmolish did. So if you have time, people in this week, they asked one of the Buckram for help the Bangladesh again.
Sure.
How they never say no. They're good, but Rob doesn't want me to phone back up here since you're done. There's snowball a little bit. Chance you're still here. Fisher.
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Rabbi say coming up on Kippur.
They're from the box.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at Simin Taf Reish Dalet. We're using different Shulchan Aruch, so just give the Simin Taf Reish Dalet. Yeah, right there. You're right in the right spot.
Oh.
Taf Reish Dalet, the first Simin in Hilchos Yom Kippur. The pasuk in Parshas Emor says, pasuk in Parshas Emor says that we should fast, afflict yourselves, your souls, on the ninth day of the month. The Gemara asks in Yuma, the ninth day we fast. It says a psukim earlier. It says psukim earlier. Shemba osar lachoidish ta'anus nafshei seichem. The namar me'erev ad erev, from the evening to the evening. So what is this about the ninth day? A little strange. Inyan hakosov. The idea behind the pasuk is a chinu atzochem b'chi ve'inoi hasiri. The Torah tells us to prepare ourselves for on the ninth day for the fast on the 10th day. Shetoichel v'tishtu b'chi kidei shetuchel v'sanis ba'asiri. V'hu me'avas HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yisrael shetzivam la'asanis ha'yom echa b'shana. Hashem did not tell us to fast more than one day. And our Torah is only one day. The Tevasam, not only was it only one day, he did it for our Teva. The Chaper Avin Yisechem. Etzivam sheyoichel v'yishtu tchila shv'yadzik lehem ha'inoi, and Hashem gave a mitzvah in the Torah that should we eat the day before. You're not just eating because you want to eat for the next day. You're eating also because it's a mitzvah. In order to fast shouldn't hurt you. This idea of Slichas Averis in Yom Kippur started off as being the day that the Yidden were received kapara on the Chet HaEgel. V'yom Hashem salachti kidvrecha. That's how we start off Yom Kippur. The Pesukim of V'yom Hashem, we all call out salachti kidvrecha. Hashem said, "I've forgiven you like as you wanted," and that day became for all Meshach, all the future generations, as the day. Hashem set that day as the day that we're always going to get kapara. That was the first time we received a kapara as a nation, and that's the day of Yom Kippur. The Gemara in the ending of Maseches Tainus says, "Lehayu Yom Tov Yisrael kechamisha asabav kiyoyim haKippurim." And the Gemara says, "Yom Kippurim." We understand why it's a happy day. It's a great Yom Tov. You get forgiven for your sins. What could be better than that? The Gemara goes into discuss what happened that day, what makes it a happy day. But Yom Kippur is obvious that this is a happy day. We get kapara, so it's not a sad day. The day of it's a serious day. It's a serious day. The
I'll stay by the food.
the the serious day, but it's not a sad day. It's not Tisha B'av. Um, However, the Torah doesn't say ichlu shsu b'chi. It doesn't say this. The Torah says v'nisim nashashechem b'chi, which doesn't make sense. We're supposed to fast on the 10th, not on the 9th. Shahoitzi hakasav achil v'shinei v'loy omer b'feidah sheyach v'ishta b'chi. L'omer lecha is to tell you sha'oichel v'shoyse maila ha'olav hakasav ki'ilu haya mis'ane boy. This is to tell you that when you eat and drink on the 9th day, that's as if you fasted. The same schar as if you fasted. Machas mitzvahs HaKadosh Baruch Hu shetzivu l'sanas bei. She'ein schar ha'oichel v'shoyse machas mitzvahs HaKadosh Baruch Hu doime l'schar ha'mis'ane machas mitzvahs HaKadosh Baruch Hu. When you eat, if you're commanded to eat, you're commanded to fast. What's harder? The fast. You get more schar when you do something more difficult. Your fast is more difficult. So the Torah says, I'm telling you, Hashem says, this eating and drinking you're doing Erev Yom Kippur, I treat it like as if you fast. And I'm giving you the schar of eating and drinking, which is easy. And I'm giving you the schar ki'ilu, you did something difficult, you fasted. Since Yom Kippurim itself, we can't do the normal kavod. We know that on Shabbos, Yom Tov is a chiyuv of kavod. The Torah, the Nevi'im tell us you have to mechabed the Shabbos, honor the Yom Tov. We one of the ways we honor is by having a nice meal. There's also einig involved on Shabbos and a Yom Tov. We have the idea of Simchas Yom Tov, but there is the idea of kavod. Yom Kippur, the idea of kavod stays at the level of having clean, nice clothing and lighting a candle. Yom Kippur, lighting candles, make sure the room is nice and bright. Those days they didn't have electricity, so there was an obligation. You had to light, and we still light today. So the chiyuv to light candles and wear nice clothing, that's all covered in Yom Kippur. But we're missing out on being Sabbath Yom Kippur with eating and drinking. You can't have sudas. Torah says, eat Erev Yom Kippur. That's ki'ilu, you did it the next day. Be mechabed Yom Kippur, ma'achol mishta the day before. The ficha, therefore, also this anisbay. It's also to fast on the day of Yom Kippur. People have different various minhagim to fast. They have a yard side, they have this, they have that. People have minhagim to fast. You're not allowed to fast Erev Yom Kippur. Furthermore, afilu tainis cholam, even a tainis cholam, there is kulas, leniencies regarding fasting a tainis cholam. You had a bad dream, you're very nervous about it, you want to fast. Even on Shabbos and Yom Tov, if the dream is bothering you, it's not letting you feel calm, you can fast and daven for Hashem on Shabbos and on Yom Tov. Adarabah, eat and drink on Erev Yom Kippur because the eating and drinking is like a tainus. This day, you have a very unique thing. You can eat and drink, and it's keilu you fasted. A special, again.
A lot of keilu.
We call makim, yeah. Al yoichel v'yishta.
Kind of like your last meal on death row.
V'chashelek ilu his ana al chaloyim. And that would be keilu you fasted on your cholam. Mikol makim. He gives an eitzah. Someone who still bothers him. He doesn't want to fast. He's not comfortable just sitting and eating and drinking. That's such a terrible dream. He gives him eitzah. You want to do a partial fast up until the meal, the sudam afsekes, the last meal that you're having. That we're not going to protest on you if you want to do that. Why? Yom Kippur, Shabbos, you're not allowed. A fast, let's say, which is not a tainus cholam, which is allowed on Shabbos. But let's say another tainus. You're not allowed to fast even a little bit with shame tainus. Because Shabbos is a day of oinig. Every minute of Shabbos is oinig. You fast for a minute on Shabbos for the sake of a tainus, not just because the food's not ready, because you were sitting and learning. But you fast for the sake of a tainus, a feel sha'achas, you were over on the Mrs. Oinig of Shabbos, because kol rega of Shabbos is mitzvah oinig. In Erev Yom Kippur, there's no mitzvah oinig. It's not There's a mitzvah chilush siyah. So if you ate and drank Sudam of Sekis, that's enough. But the Evid, Yoitza, so you can fast up until the summer seconds. If you should have in the day of Shabbos Shema by Vikrasal Shabbos Oinig, Nabi Yeshaya says, Vikrasal Shabbos Oinig. Ficha also signs by Filo Sha'achas L'Shem Tainus. Im Eine Tainus Cholam. Tainus Cholam is the only exception, because that's your Oinig. The reason why Tainus Cholam is an exception in Shabbos, because a person that's struggling with his dream, it's not letting him go, his Oinig Shabbos is that he should fast. That's the way he's going to have peace and rest on Shabbos. However, Erev Yom Kippurim shall never by Oinig. Al shemitzvah lechol boy from achol pam achas b'yoyim yotzei dechivasei. So someone who wants to do that, there's room for that. And you can eat one time a day, that's Sodom of seconds. But more than that, you're not allowed. Agav, today you don't really find so much people fasting for chaloim, but Amol people were very concerned about their dreams. And we even find that a lot of Sidurim in the back, there's a procedure called Hatavas Chalim to correct your dream, to make it better. Hatava Malashim, Hatavas Hanedis, to correct you. Huh?
We do the best now.
Yeah, do a little bezin together, and you tell them what you saw, and they say, Chalma Tava Chazai, Chalma, you saw a good dream, There's a certain procedure. I remember not too many people do it today, but I've seen it done. Some people that are worried. I was in a shul once, and an elderly, Russian lady, maybe 80 years old, came to the door, and she wanted to do a Tavas Chalim, after Shachris. So we got in the minyan with the Rav there, and we made a Tavas Chalim for her.
You need 3 of them.
I one time asked Rabbi Heller in the Rosh Hashanah Kanais, I said to him, we don't see people really doing a Tavas Chalim today. He says, really, this whole idea of taking your dreams serious is really when you're a serious person.
Oh.
When you're not a serious person. You read this thing before you went to sleep. You watched this clip. You read this book. And then, the kid always comes into the room and says, I had a bad dream. Yeah, of course. What were you thinking and talking about? So that's not considered a bad dream, because that's what you thought about. So that type of dreams, you have to mach up. You can tell someone it's nothing. If they don't have anything, let's them. You have to do the Tavas Chalim. Really, that's not what it's about. That's nourished dreams. You think this, you think that. It's not a meaningless. Serious person, there's no reason why in the world this dream should have come to them. And they had this really frightening dream. Who knows what it might be? That's something to take more as serious. That I don't get these dreams ever. There's no reason why I should have had a logic in this dream. It really frightens me. Right? There's room for these type of things. We also have, I was mentioning, we have the Gemara says that if Birchas Koyanim, we say at the ending of Birchas Koyanim, the psukim about our chaloimis, whatever we chalom on ourselves and other people dreamed about us, everything should be the toiv. I think that's what the answers of a lot of daily Yisrael was. You did have Tavas Chalim by Birchas Koyanim, you already said it, so don't be so concerned. Now, Ad Kidei Kach, there's a chiyuv to eat on Erev Yom Kippur. Sif Beis, in Avar V'tah, this Anakolayim. Someone had a yard site or something, and every year he thought he fasts on Erev Yom Kippur. He has to go and fast Acher Yom Kippurim, Tainus Achas, Tzapar Mashasanim. You need a kapara for that. You need to fast on the fast. You fasted then, to fast again. If you only did till Sudam Sekis, but Sudam Sekis you did eat, we don't have to make it up, because like we said before, there's room to be makel if you fasted just until Sudam Sekis. Im Nodar, what you should do if you made a neder. You made a neder, in the story now, you're forced to fast. So what do you do to make a neder? Erev Yom Kippur is not a yomtiv. It's not a yomtiv. There's a mitzvah to eat and drink. There's a specific mitzvah in it. Like Cholamayid. Cholamayid, you're allowed to do various malachas, and certain malachas are not allowed to do various malachas that yomtiv you're not allowed to do. Right? But there's still mitzvahs on it. Let's say you sit in the sukkah. You're not eat Pesach. You can't eat chametz. You can't own chametz. Meaning sometimes the mitzvahs are not connected to the Yom Tov. It's regardless whether it's a Yom Tov or not. There is still a mitzvah certain mitzvahs. Erev Yom Kippur has certain mitzvahs associated, eat and drink. It doesn't make it, that's not because it's a Yom Tif, you're chayav to eat and drink. No, Yom Kippur is a Yom Tif. You're eating today to be chabed Yom Kippur.
There's no korban to bring an Erev Kippur.
No, you can't bring a carbon toida, right? So we don't say mizmal asaida because
So it's not
you don't want to bring it to the psul. Mikol makom noyigin la'asayis yomtiv and maspidin. The minig is pi halacha min adin. It's not. The minig is that the oilam treats it like a yomtiv tik. We don't make a hesped. Ella al chacham afanav. Unless you have a chacham who was nifter, Talmud chacham, and he's there. The aron is there. Not that he's already buried and you're making a hesped. He's there and you're making the hesped. That's okay.
My JD was nifter on Erev Yom Kippur.
Oh wow.
That was very tough.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Did they make a hesped?
And it was raining. There at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Wow. 4 o'clock in the what a sudden
no
you
one
had.
wanted to give us any socks. They all just said, "Do what you got to do." They didn't know what.
That's very tough.
Before Yom Kippur?
It was very good.
Yeah,
It was
4 o'clock.
the night before, and then
Before Yom Kippur?
the Kavura was in the afternoon. Erev Yom Kippur.
Wow.
My
It's supposed to be the meal, when you come
Back, right? We don't have a lot of time. It's
Right.
4 o'clock. There's not in now. 4 o'clock is very
6
close
o'clock.
to
6 o'clock is
Shkia.
didn't tell us anything because they were scared for themselves to give us some socks.
Oh.
Why you don't have to do kadin?
Or the day that you heard the news. Those days the news didn't go too quick. The day that they heard that town, that in another place, the Chacham was nifter, that's like b'fanav. You can make a hesped. The same reason, because it's a yom tov. Any day you don't say tachnun, we don't do tzedek hadin. They didn't do the tzedek hadin. No, there's a special nusach that you say Hashem Nasser Hashem Lakach. There's a nusach that you say in the base chayim after the kvura. You matzdik the din that the Eibishter, that matzdik the din that the person was nifter, that Hashem is righteous and sur tamim palei. But tzedek hadin we don't say anytime we don't say tach.
I remember going to Father Booth.
Yeah, yeah.
His father Booth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. When he was living here, used to
Your
make
father what?
l'chaim.
He said his birthday is Erev Yom Kippur.
Wow. Wow.
He get Malkas on
Your
his
father?
Yes.
He used to be able to get lekach from the Rebbe directly on his.
Oh wow.
Yes.
I remember.
That's why you looked at me when I said my JD was nifter on Erev Yom Kippur.
Only hear good news.
Okay.
Kein Eimer by Tachnun. We also
Good
don't
time
say
to go.
Tachnun.
Good time to go.
Kein Eimer by Tachnun. The Gamin Eimer Koidem Aleitza Shachar Harbi
He
Slichis.
died right before Yom Kippur.
Shar Yomim.
His worker didn't want to.
V'yesha Kaimer Shenoyigin Laharbis Slichis. Shchoishis Yonta Aleitza Shachar Be'elach Abaleila Laila HaKoil Lefi HaMinig.
The Bible says no.
The Erev Yom Kippur, if I'm not mistaken, it says there's some people. The Shiloh that Erev Yom Kippur comes when we treat it as when we treat it as a Yom Tov, the minig. Here. When we treat Yom Kippur as a Yom Tov, when does that start? The morning of Erev Yom Kippur or the night before?
Right.
Usually, Yom Tov always start the night before. There are some occasions that we start it by day. Like Erev Rosh Hashanah, we don't say Tachna by day.
Right.
It's something that some things are only by day, and that most times it includes the night before. Like Ba'omer, the minute became that the oilam at night already turns on the music, and sure, people already make bonfires the night already before going into like Ba'omer. The night going into like.
I don't say Tachnun.
I don't know if Orkehillis. Orkehillis.
Yeah, the bonfire is not always at night.
Yeah, but the night of Ramadan.
The night of like Ba'omer.
Right. Not the night before. Not the night before, no. Lag Ba'omer.
Leil like Ba'omer, not Mitz.
Not Motzei Lag Ba'omer.
Already, as soon as it turns Seis and Kichavim, I mean, you already treat the night of like Ba'omer, the first night going in, already some. But it could be in other
You
circles.
said it very good before, by the way.
Yeah.
That there is a separate chag of Erev Yom Kippur.
Yeah.
This through the Machsekes is also Yom Kippur Kaful.
That's why, by the way, this is the klal. The klal is whenever the night. This is how you know. Mincha before Rosh Hashanah and Mincha on Thursday, we're going to say Tachli. Why is that the case? The Yom Tov starts not at the night. The Yom starts in the day. Whenever the Yom Tov is the night, the Mincha before, you already don't say Tachli because the Ur of the Yom is like Shabbos. Already by Chatzos, we don't say by Mincha already Tachli. If you washed and ate a meal, you would say Sha'amalis Friday afternoon. But I'm saying because Shabbos starts at night. Anything that's the night, Mincha already. Erev Yom Kippur is a daytime. We're noyig Yom Tov on the day. So night before, you don't. We still are saying Tachlim and Mincha before it. The same thing as by Pesach Sheni, by the way. Erev Rosh Hashanah, Erev Yom Kippur, and Erev Pesach Sheni. The night of Pesach Sheni is not yet a Yom Tov Pesach Sheni, and because the Shchitas HaPesach had to be B'yoyim. You can't shech the carbon Pesach and the Laila be B'yoyim. You can't shech the night before. Yoyim Yadalit. So the night is not a Yom Tov yet. Therefore, the Mincha before you say Tachlim. That's the Klal. So that's what he's discussing over. He's mentioning some do say Slichis at the night, and some say don't say Slichis. The reason is whether or not we consider the night a Yom Tov or not, the night of Yom Kippur. Afilu mekoyme she'ein marben by Slichis, the yoichol basar koyne sesik shalel erev Yom Kippurim. Even those people interesting over here he says even those places that they don't say slichas on Erev Yom Kippur, which about in Chabad they don't say on Erev Yom Kippur, you shouldn't eat meat before say Sekichavim of the night of Erev Yom Kippur. Even let's say I daven the early Ma'ariv. For me, it's already in Kippur. I daven the early Ma'ariv. When it comes to the Yom Tov, I mean Kippur, it's not like you can take in the Yom Tov and Shabbos early. I take in the Yom Tov Erev Yom Kippur early. It's over here. It's a minig. It goes by the minig. So it's not holding your Ma'ariv. We say Tachna after Mincha. Interesting point. He says here, even places that do consider the night a Yom Tif, it's not strong enough to extend to the Mincha before. So the Klala was saying is not 100% true. Meaning they are, you can consider the night of Yom Kippur a Yom Tif, and not the Erev, not the Mincha later. You can't be mamshachet earlier. It's a good question. I could be because it was a minig. Why is it mentioned about you shouldn't eat meat till nightfall? Like there's an issa to eat meat. Well, it seems that it could be in a Sarasi Mitzvah. There were people that refrained from eating meat. So it's Mitzvah until it was a Yom Tov, till Erev Yom Kippur. They're saying don't eat meat because you took a Ma'ariv early. Wait till the nightfall if you had such a chumrah. Remember those days, meat was like, some people only had chicken only on Shabbos. I remember hearing once from a Ber Lazar, when he went first time, and him and his wife, they went on shlichus to Moscow, and there was an elderly chassid there who was a moyel, who his name was Getcha, and he never left, the Rebbe never let him leave Russia, because he said, you can't leave, you're a moyel. So he ended up staying, then he was nifta there, he never saw the Rebbe. So this chassid was there, so he hosted them Friday night in his house. They came, and the young couple, they're here in the shlichus over here, and come to the meal, and he's sitting and schmoozing with Getcha, the moyel, and talking to him, and they serve a soup, and the soup had like a little tiny piece of chicken in it, it's a yoytazayin, and he wasn't really eating like he thought, was going to come the next course. His wife like whispered to him, this is it, eat this up because there's nothing going to be after this, So eating meat was like we go okay, if we get a meat every day, we get a steak, we get meat. It's a very common thing.
So they can only meat,
right? Because they don't know the shchita. The basar maybe the gvura maybe.
Wasn't eating meat.
Shaila was if he did it with the shchita, maybe he
It's
does.
a shkita. Yom Tov, he would, Chosik would do them, and he did,
There were a lot of
bite.
chassidim that didn't
He
eat
would
meat.
bite
Yeah,
it.
What, he was a vegan?
No. Halacha wise, to make something kosher, you have to be really like so complicated.
So he didn't trust any shita.
No. Upon himself, he said, I don't want anything.
If Chaim Vital only shepherded his own,
his own.
here.
Well,
There is actually some audio of this Yid Getcha. This Yid Getcha, he was having conversations with Rabbi Beryl Levy, Olav Shalom, the father of Daniel Levy from the OK, Olav Shalom, was nifter in COVID, who founded the OK. So Beryl Levy used to have many trips to Russia. I don't remember why he used to go. Maybe it was officially why he officially would go. Maybe it was associated with kashrus. I don't know, but he would go to Russia on trips, and it was like a shlichus. He would meet with certain chassidim, pass on certain tashmishi kedusha, sedurim, different things, and he would also have a phone conversations with different people. He kept up with them, and he took a lot of videos there of people there. There were a lot of Bali Tshuva. There was a Renaissance movement in the 70s, 80s there, Fuseniks and different groups. And he took some videos of the Fabrings they had there in their houses, and he also had them. A lot of them wanted to ask a bracha from the Rebbe. They never had opportunity.
I saw it.
So there's some videos where you can see where he videos each one of them privately asking their Pasha from the Rebbe and played it for the Rebbe. He later on came back and they brought in a video screen, a VCR. They wheeled it into the Rebbe's room, and the Rebbe with her Beryl Levy, Leibergon would bring it in. Beryl Levy would come in, and the Rebbe would watch it. They say the Rebbe would cry. He was very emotional to see these hidden and the struggles that they had.
And then for bringing Shabbos, the Rebbe spoke what butter, what's it in Russian? Is it?
That was earlier, yeah.
Right, did I'm saying right the bracha
He was a sheikh to say that.
My grandfather was a
Did he eat meat during the week?
You could see this online. The gem has some some of the videos and the audio also where he is calling Getcha from New York and he's calling him and they're talking in codes and he's calls him up and asks him how he said the Zayda, which refers to the code name for the Rebbe. The Zayda wants to know how you're feeling. He's asking him in Yiddish. He said, "Yeah, mach gut, sag the Zayda, als is gut, als the Zayda," and they have this coded conversation, which they published it. I mean, they've sent it out, the recordings. You could see them. If you maybe search Gem, Barra Levy maybe, or
Getcha.
I don't know if Getcha is going to pull up, but you could try.
Who was the
Levy
shepherd of the Rebbe? That was not a pusher job.
we could see the shepherd.
I'm sure the Rebbe had his own personal shepherd.
I don't know.
We could see it.
Yeah.
We see it.
You were there, Kaparis.
Yeah.
I saw the picture.
When
of
Shep-
that, and
I don't remember
I-
much, but you were there.
Really?
You maybe you were sleeping with it. It's early
I
morning.
came early enough to get a front row if I was
Oh, you
I
just
was in the
hated
back.
It was early. It was an early morning event.
Yeah, that for sure. Yeah.
I mean, not too many Bachim were there.
Take a video.
Busser from.
Then the Rebbe took the photo, and he kissed it on the broken.
Okay, so
They're
They're gonna be chickens here.
During
No.
Vav.
There's no chickens and floppers.
Shabbos, the Yom was.
Ein oimim lamnatzech yancha.
I don't know.
Ein oimim lamnatzech yancha.
What I ask you? It's good.
You don't say lamnatzech yancha because it's not a yom tzara.
Right.
By the way, we have already a klal. This is after the Shulchan Aruch. The Alter Rebbe in the Siddur lays down a klal. Whenever you don't say tachlon, you don't say kapitel chaf. You don't say lamatzech, but the Frierdiker Rebbe said you should say it after that. Not part of the davening, but not to miss out on the idea of kapitel chaf.
If it's a Hudson, you don't see.
Yeah, they don't say lamatzech. I think that years ago it wasn't such a clear thing, and one year the Rebbe made it clear that Avinu Makenu and kapitel chaf. Whenever you don't say Tachin, you don't say those either. The Avinu Malkeinu, the long Avinu Malkeinu, and you don't say.
This year, Rosh Hashanah, we didn't see it. I'm not right now. Erev Shabbos.
Right.
Erev Rosh Hashanah, we didn't see it. We almost did.
Ain't Emer by Mizal Saida because you don't bring a carbon taida and Erev Yom Kippurim. Mizal taida is not a chiyuv, by the way. It's the Abad Tzrichim Lahaidis. They could do it at a different time. You don't have to bring an Erev Yom Kippur, and there's not enough time to eat the carbon. So you're going to make the carbon nicer. You're not going to eat it on the meat. There's not enough time because you have the day to eat it, but by night already you have to stop eating. So it's a hard day to stick in the mizvah l'soida. So we don't say mizvah l'soida. Sivzaini, Omer by Avinu Malkeinu, loy betfilo shachris, loy b'mincha. Yesh mekoymes noigin shechayim krum b'shabbat shein oimim Avinu by Avinu Malkeinu. We don't say Avinu Malkeinu. Oz oimim oisei be'erev yom kippurim shachris. I don't think it's this year. This year it falls on the Shabbos. We don't say Avinu Malkeinu. And no, the whole entire Yom Kippur. Only Ne'ilah. Only Ne'ilah.
One time.
Ne'ilah.
At the end.
Ne'ilah at the ending we say, but the whole Yom Kippur is going to be a little short of davening. It's right. But no Avinu Malkeinu.
Don't happen either.
Avinu Malkeinu is on Yom Kippur. But I don't think that we say it Erev Yom Kippur Shachris. I'm not. It says over here that in such a kviyas, you say it Erev Yom Kippurim Shachris. I don't know. It's the meaning. We do say in Erev Yom Kippur Shachris. I don't remember.
We don't say Avinu Malkeinu. We don't say
These things are hard to remember. Such a kviyas. What we do.
No, we don't.
Well, Karl Chabad, that's what he says.
No Mizmor L'Seder and no Avinu Malkeinu.
No Avinu Malkeinu. I don't think so either. Even though it says over here that such a kviyas where you can't say it on Shabbos, you say it in Shachris or in Kippur to like make up for it. But Maisa we don't.
This year it's a lot of problems all over the Jews. So we have to say Avinu Malkeinu. It's all the Jews.
Today I was in shul and someone started saying there's a Mincha, there's Achnasas Sefer Torah. They didn't want us somewhere in the community, and I said, listen, we're looking to say Avinu Malkeinu. We're not looking to get it.
No, but you make a.
If the people in the shul are going, they're all going. Okay, they're all going to the Sims today. But no one over there was going. They just someone heard and this. It's not.
If they
It's not.
interpret
It's not going to hurt you to say every
No, then you don't say. You don't say. It's a legitimate reason. I'll tell you a story. When I was a chassan, so after my it was after my Sheva brachas already, but Rabbi Yoel Khan, Alav Shalom, he assumed I was still in my Sheva brachas. So it was in the upstairs zal in 770. He had given a shir chassidus in the morning, and then there was a minyan there, minyan for slichas. So he asked me if it could trouble me to step out of the room, out of the zal, out of the shul, go to the hallway during the parts of Tachnun, when you say Vayavra Hashem Alpana, the Gimel Midas, to step out of the room. Why? Don't feel bad. The Rebbe did this to me. When I got married in 1953, so the Rebbe, I had my Sheva Brachas and Mislichas, and then the Rebbe wanted to say Yud Gimel Midas. So he asked me if I can leave the room so the meaning could say it. I told him I'm already over the Sheva brachas. It's not a problem for me, but he didn't realize, he didn't see you wearing a kapatig and that. He didn't notice these things. So he just what he told me. So I'm saying there is an Indian. People today are a little bit flippant about tachin, but
I heard the story. I didn't know who's the book of the Aslan Ziyakar.
the another thing. There's an interesting word for one of the mashpiyim who was mashpiyim in the early years here in the 40s and the 50s. Was Reb Shmuel Levitin, who was a famous older chassid, who was mechanich a lot of bachrim, and so he was also the Rav for Beis Harav, the Frierdiker Rebbe and the Rebbe. He passed in the shilas that they had. He was in Beis Harav by the Rebbeim. They had a Rav that passed in the shilas. They didn't officially take on themselves the title Rav. They had a Rav. Sometimes they needed to explain to the Rav how they wanted him to paskin, but sometimes the Rav had to be very smart to figure out which way the Rebbe wanted to go. So they say that Shmuel Levitin was a very big picker. He was very wise. He was very shrewd, and he would, figure out what the Rebbe wanted the psak should be. But the Rebbe didn't want. He wanted Rav Shabaskin it. Sometimes the Rebbe did. There were a few Yitzim and Klals that the Rebbe did come out clearly with different psakim regarding certain issues. But for the most part, he referred people in letters and in answers. Asked the local Rav, your local Orthodox rabbi, and that's the Rebbe. So Shmuel had a mashal. He said like this: there's a halacha that if someone comes to someone, Reuven comes to Shimon, he says, "Ani yedeya sheni chayiv l'cha." I know I owe you money, but I'm not sure if I paid you back. What's the halacha? The suffix. I'm not sure if I pay back. Is he chayiv to pay? Since there's a bari, he's a vada. He owes him money. He's sure that he owed him money at one point. The suffix is Shema, maybe he paid him back. The halacha is that
Bali v'shema.
Bari v'shema, bari if he has to pay him back. If he can feel that he doesn't owe him, then obviously he doesn't have to pay him. So he said like this, by tachnun.
This is even if the lender didn't even remember.
I think so, unless he says I'm a vater. He says I'm a vater, I don't remember, I'm a vater, so on. So Rav Shmuel said like this. If you don't know that you didn't do any Avedis, it's not chayiv to the Eibush to anything. So you only don't need to say tachum. But if you did some Avedis,
You have such a body?
I'm a kulam tzaddikim. If you did some Avedis, now you're not sure if you paid up for it, if you know you got mechila for it. So that's he said the tachum. You know you shamda bagadnu, you have certain things you did wrong. So if you have a suffix, yeah, that was the old attitude. Today, a lot of the younger generation, it's no tachum, no finish. Anyway, but if you have taka legitimate reason, halacha is a minig is a minig. We don't say tachum. There's a moil in shul, the sandik, the chasim. We don't say tachum. I'm talking about a case of a suffix. Okay.
The story that
We're going to say extra things on Yom Kippur.
Not on Yom Kippur, like in general.
It's like in general.
I'm saying a lot of things already on every. No, Yom Kippur already saying a lot.
there was a story that
He was saying, this tzaddik wanted to know why we don't say happy to Malkedim. In the earlier tefillas of Yom Kippur, I'm saying it's enough.
there was a chassan that by the Rebbe, and he did not daven, but he was there in the minyan because he wanted to see the Rebbe. So he came to Tachon and said, "Chassan." So the Rebbe turned to the chassan and said, "You daven with us?" He said, "No." So he says, "Wait outside."
You remember this?
No, I wasn't there. But
You heard.
that's the story. Now you told me with Yoel, so
Yeah.
But maybe it's two different stories.
Important halacha is about vidur, everybody say. We know Siman Freish Zayin. That we know. I'm sorry, I think I skipped two halachas. No, I skipped a lot of halachas. What should we do? What does I want to hear? Kaparis? Kaparis? Okay. Tafresh Hey. Minik Kaparis, Berev Yom Kippur, Vaivasif. And now you can be Aratzis. In these countries, the minik is Likach Berev Yom Kippurim, Tarnagol, Kapara Lazacher, Tarnagolis in the cave. Va'im Mal Zacha Lefasi Zet Mrasa Kaparasi, is Rasha Teves Choitech. Zah Hashem Achois L'chaim L'chai. This name, which is the name this of Hashem that decides the life for every living being. Mechziroi, Savev Reishai, V'yemer B'nei Adam, V'oisin Kimabam, we do it 3 times. The same Chal Yedeyim, we put our hands on the chicken. Dugma Smicha B'Karbon, like they used to do on the carbon, the Samachal of Yadav, the Sheichtin Esim Miyad, take it for Smicha Shchita. Yeshim Noyim Elisam Chal Yedeyim, some people refrain from putting their hands in it because it looks like you're bringing karbanis and shechting them outside the Beis Hamikdash. We're not supposed to do that. Ve'ein lachush lazeh ve'kivan shetarnago hu davar sheni roy lamizbeach. What the chasher? Tarnago is not roy lamizbeach. Ve'ein tarnagoyim ve'lekech sharba lechayim lekapara. Don't take pigeons and doves, because pigeons and doves taka were brought as a carbon.
Oh, you know me.
People take fish. But Maisa, we don't do smicha. And maybe some kilos do. But the Chabad, the Alter Rebbe and the Siddur took out any idea when he gives instructions of how to do kaparis. Right before kaparis, there's a few lines there. Does not say anything about smicha. That's the meaning that Chabad don't do smicha. I don't know if other kehillos they do smicha or not.
You hold it anyway. You hold it in your hand.
The Rashash Kavana for Chatoch is after Pesach Sedecha, Umasbia. That's where he puts in Chatoch. Pesach Sedecha, and then Umasbia.
Umasbia.
The Chatach is the Kavana.
That's very interesting. Achotech Chaim V'chol Chai. Nobody said that. You saying?
What's the lesson?
I don't think so. זה התרנגול ילך לשחיטה ואני אכנס לחיים טובים משלו. זה התרנגולת. We don't say that.
Right. True. That's not the minig.
Why is it?
Not the minig.
Is that unusual?
Never heard this, Mina. זה השם החותך חיים לכל חיים.
Yeah, correct. It's not the minig anymore to do like it says here.
Nagin be'elu haratzis. Is that
Europe.
unusual language?
Not unusual, but it means like in Europe. It means not
Okay.
everywhere were they having this minig of kaparis.
So,
There were places that that's the wrong minig. But like a Hamoidi, what are we going taking white chicken? They frowned upon the whole minig.
They have videos. They go
There were kihillas. I
Right.
remember you can look
Yeah.
maybe in the Beis Yosef over
Right.
here.
I never saw
Brings it
the
down.
Yeah.
Today it's very mispashit thing in. I think a lot of very widespread. It could be that Litvisha places, certain Litvisha, real strong Litvisha places, they don't do it. There were Mefaimet that didn't do it, and there was machlekes about it.
There's cynical pieces that people that say, "Oh, this is Hague. It comes from who
Right.
knows what." Now,
Correct.
is there anything to that?
Correct. That's the discussion. Now let's take a look.
So there's okay, go ahead.
No, that's anichanami. You're right. It's a good deal. It's only noig and be'ela haratzis. Not everyone does it.
So
Not
what,
everyone does it. Not everyone does the minig kaparas.
I saw
with Kesset.
Bochum doing a
Yeah, كسب دخل tzedakah.
You remember what happened COVID time that they weren't able to do the.
Oh, yeah,
It was money. People did it on money.
Some people came up with some money game where you send money to Eretz Yisrael, which they weren't closed off, and make a shlichus for someone to be a shliach to do kaparas. So the whole shaila, can you do shlichus by kaparas? And then it was a little bit of a way. I had to that the Moises should make institution should make some money to support
I got parts in COVID. It's even better because I had gloves.
You did do it?
Well, I think so.
I don't
I
think
did.
I think they had Kabara still. Maybe
Most people did money. Most people did money.
I don't remember now. I don't have a recollection. Maybe we did Takim. Yom Kippur, maybe we did already. Did we? Okay, so maybe there was an Eretz Yisrael. The story was that. Remember that in Eretz Yisrael they were closed and they made some shlichus.
It's not pushing their Israel either. I was there for 10 years. 2 years ago, they had riots in front of the kaparas in Nachlaot for PETA. For
They live in there in
They
Israel
didn't
also?
realize that these chickens are going to poor people. They just didn't like us swinging them around. So there were 50.
You have to be careful. Shouldn't be tzar balachayim. It's taka important. They have to
Crown Heights every year.
break bones.
they have to feed them. You have to feed them, and you have to give them water, and they
You
have to.
be very
Tzar balachayim is the isa, and it's important.
No,
We have to be conscious about how we hold the chicken.
Yeah.
It's interesting how the Rebbe held it in a way not everyone's able to do it. He held it like this, like very softly, not by the wings. He held it in his hands like this.
Not supposed to hold by the wings. You make it a tray thing.
Yep. So the issue. So
That what?
You don't hold it by the wings, it's making a tray thing.
Right.
Well, you hold it underneath.
the pita people is once I had someone I knew years ago who he lived far away, somewhere else in the United States, another state. He was from like about Shiva background, and he went to he needed money, so he went into the pita offices. There was like a big, I think it was Virginia, and maybe another state, and he asked for if he can work there. He said while he was there, there was like all this animals crawling all around the place. So he wanted to have a little fun with them. He asked them like, "What do you do when you have like roaches in your house and you have these water bugs?" And like they would have a lot of difficulty answering the questions. What do they do with the bugs? I mean, I'm sure they call the pest, the exterminator. So
They're against the cruel treatment of animals, which is not a bad thing.
that's something that is not a issue. But they're extremists, like a lot of
How the hell
extremists.
they hold the chicken like this? Chicken can run away.
Hold it by
These
the
people are they very concerned with also the murder of innocent
No,
Break
lives?
the bones.
No. Okay, so
Most people take
it
the
does.
wings.
You hold
has
your
legs.
thumb. You hold it underneath, but your thumb on the wings because it does try to like open its
Yeah,
wings.
you want to
But
open
it's
it.
you have to hold it hard. It is
You
like it
cannot
does,
break the bone.
no, because it's
Holding it down.
you're holding it down when it's trying to open its wings, but you hold it like this.
Yeah, but most people take it.
I understand. I'm saying
I've
not to
seen
do that.
paralyzed chickens.
Right.
I've seen them literally in
Right, well, he was asking how to hold it underneath without flying
That's the
away.
best way.
So you have to have your thumb up high up.
I think that's
I have to see a video of the Rebbe doing it.
that's the easy way to do it. You hold by the
loads
legs.
of videos of the Rebbe.
Now sit down.
Yeah, you can
Now
find
sit
it.
down. You can break the leg.
Holding the legs, he's saying up. Holding the legs by one hand and
By the
one
wings
hand on
is
the top.
crazy.
I was by
There are pictures of the
You
Rebbe.
try your best.
the guy did kaporas. He was waiting online for the shrita. Before he gave it to the shechid, chicken already died in his hand.
All right.
The
Takato.
shechid told him, go get another chicken to make again.
That's a
This,
lot of.
this alerting us. We have to know that there's
Oh, yeah.
issues going on. We have to deal with
The
it.
chicken died for
The fact that they are Mishagayim, they're Mishagayim, but we have to be alerted to the fact that we need to be more careful with the Kaparas places have to be more careful how to deal with it. And
You do
there
catch
is
machine.
issues with it.
You go see it by Boston or by the barbecue. I used to go there. They have big truck, a lot of chicken. You think, what if when people waiting a line? They don't want to wait too long.
Get this kalal in your head. Anytime it has to do with kapara, you're getting forgiveness. Everyone's running there. An easy way to get forgiveness.
Yeah.
Anyone here went to Uman?
Never.
Why did everyone running to Uman? It's easier. You get the tikkun
Not
kalal.
so easy.
It's so easy. They say they're waiting in Romania now. They're hungry and they're starving.
Food, it's easy.
Saying is, we're all looking in Klal Yisrael for easier things to get kapara. So you see the most modern people that you don't really see them carrying much. They're all standing in line there for the kaparas. You see these people, you never see them in the shul, and they show up, and a lot of different things like that. Machzah shekel, and we find that people are inspired by.
It's event. Stand in line.
Yeah, but huge visitors.
It's easier. Listen, limits close. People want a kapara. I'm just saying it's always by the
way.
easier.
They reuse the chickens today. They charge you a fortune. They're not shafting it right away. I mean, it's not the real kaparis anyway. So.
Okay, so someone doesn't do it that way to do something else.
How many times they make me the same chicken?
Yeah, it's not
And
right.
you have to watch it get checked.
No, somebody
You have to watch it get checked. The whole
Somebody
meat.
kaposan.
What is the mitzvah called?
Go to Boston. You didn't want to
Kisei hadam.
Right, kisei adam. Without the kisei adam, it's worthless.
No,
No, but it's a chiv to kisei hadam.
When I get chicken,
The sheikhet has to do it. If you're not doing it, people want the sheikhet gives you a shus for you to do it, but the sheikhet has the mitzvah.
You need to cover the
Let's go to
dust.
770.
You have to put underneath it dirt. And
Let's
top
go to
it. So
770.
Every chicken you have to cover the
not all the dirt.
No, every chicken where you can accumulate 5-6 chicken. We'll put
I think you could do a lot.
Which one?
I think you could do it all a bunch together.
They
can do
it to the
I
poor
think
people. Ask them.
Okay.
Go on the big dumpster. Comes
Siv
up the
Beis.
dumpster.
Ubeichin b'tayna goylim leveinim.
Good money.
You should choose white roosters. Al derech shenemar im yu chateichem kashonim. If you have red sins, kashele gabino, they'll be whitened like snow. Medon avodim kshelavanim uzamanim lefanav. If you have available, oh zivcha b'mechein, then take from the other colored chickens. Avim ein uzamanim lefanav v'yachzarem achein bedafke shezeu ke'ein darki hamoiri. This was the ways of the Moiriim, the Moirites. Shedarkim lachs kanagaim lebein lakrivim labayda zara sibu kokeseyam loiselechu. There are various things Chazal tell us were constituted as darke hamori. We're not allowed to do these darke hamori because the Torah said don't go in there kokeseyam loiselechu.
Why they are more looking for white? What's that reason?
If you have the white there, the white shows on the
It's nice.
yeah, it's white. It's white. The sins are wiped off. However, if you don't have white in front of you, those days, what did they do kaparas? They went to the backyard. They have chickens in their house. They're good chickens. They don't go to the neighbor to get it. If you have a white one in your backyard, good. Over here, it's not like you have a choice. They're all white. Not like
So if you don't have any, it's okay to get white.
yeah. It's only if you're dafka looking for white. Certain things we say like we say if you have fire, but if not, you don't go running around town for Beit Eish. Except, by the way, Motzei Yom Kippur. Motzei Yom Kippur, and this year actually it's a double reason. It's Shabbos and Yom Kippur. Shabbos we always do Beit Eish because that's when fire was created. Adam Rishon, the first time Hashem gave him das, scrape two stones together and have fire. So in memory of that, we do the Beit Eish. Yom Kippur, even when it's not on Shabbos, we also do Beit Eish. Reason being, a different reason. We want to show that Yom Kippur is different than Yom Tov. Yom Tov, you're allowed to have fire. You're allowed to light a fire from a pre-existing flame. You're allowed to cook. We want to show Yom Kippur that we weren't allowed to have fire. Yom Kippur is different than every Yom Tov. Therefore, we dafke light a special light. It's called a ner sheshavas. You take a light that was lit, not the yard side licht. Some people say you could do the yard side licht, but you have to push it in because the light has to be a ner lahoyer. You use a ner that was meant lahoyer, but you didn't light on Yom Kippur, and it's lit a whole Yom Kippur, and it's there in order to that you show that I couldn't light on Yom Kippur. Matzah Yom Kippur, you make a bracha on that. So, and you have a chiyuv to use a ner shel Shabbos. There you go to your neighbor and you ask or if your yard sale went out, your candle that your 24-hour candle went out, or you tried to stick in the thing that went out. So sometimes I wouldn't advise that. I would say maybe leave it in there and light a separate candle and make them both together. You could even have the Havdalah candle with that together, because sometimes you stick it in and then it's out and you got to go running to the neighbor and it's not
You mean like
comfortable.
stick it in what way?
The yard side candle, the ending of Yom Kippur, the fire's on the bottom.
Wax is not.
People want to light it, they stick it in, and then you by doing that, you lash it out.
Action or something else.
Yeah.
Candle
If you don't do it carefully,
It's out. Everything's out.
yeah. There is an eitzah. What you could do is, if you don't have any Nesha Shavas, go to your gas pilot. You have the light there that's lit a hole. The problem with that one is it's not a ner lahoyer. It's not meant lahoyer. It's meant for cooking.
Right.
You can't even see it. It's underneath the. So therefore, what you do is you take an Havdalah candle and you light it from there. So, but that's okay, because I have a ner shashavas,
Right.
and the aspect of the ner being lahoyer to light up, I have within the new one, which I lit tonight.
That's a great move.
So you combine the two. You don't have. You combine the two
That's
together.
good. Oh, look at the electric in my ears.
Let's finish it up already. Yesh noyagin lifter kamas chorim b'tainu golecha b'kama kein v'targal achas. Some people, they do one zacher for a whole bunch of men, one nekeva, and a goyles for a bunch of women. Shvichin loikim leberes for a pregnant woman, they only take tarno golecha b'tarno golachas. They only take one rooster, one hen. Ima uber zacher reish ken tarno golecha. If the baby is a male, you have here a rooster. Ima uber nekeva. According to this minig, one nekeva will be good for her and for the baby if it's a female. However, yesh noigin likach kapara l'chol echad ve'echad fnei atzmai lefichach loikin lemuberes gimel shtei nekevas zachad. You take 3, 2 nekevas because maybe for her, and the second one maybe the baby is a
But what
nekeva.
we need for the baby? Baby didn't make any.
This is according to the Rizal, and this is the minig.
That's what I need for it. Robert. The baby didn't make any. It's not born yet.
That's a good point.
So already you need to.
Very, very good child.
Now, I guess if they happen to
Also,
know
the question is, at what stage of pregnancy? You say 3 months or 40 days. So how do you mechashiv it?
I suppose if they happen to know it's male, it's going to be
sonogram. Today people, some people already.
That is sonogram.
Andro, what is it called?
I saw a nurse in the hospital not to
Androcentesis.
go around all the babies with one chicken.
Angiocentesis.
Yeah.
A nurse,
Angiocentesis.
she rubbed the chicken with the
We have a minion of I say.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
right.
With the head, you know what you put on your head? She rubbed the chicken. It went around all the babies. The baby can incubate, tiny baby, just born.
Cute.
And went ahead and did kaparas.
Yeah, you don't know where his go.
The kaparis you're supposed to give to aniyim. It's better to be paid to the kaparis, and you take the chicken for yourself.
Why don't they
Buy off the money and give the money
Does Peter not
to the poor people.
Does Peter not
The poor people shouldn't be embarrassed to receiving it. A lot of yeshivas that do it, they use it for the bakram. The bakram eat the whole tishrei, whatever they eat. They're eating the kaparis chickens for a while.
really?
The ones that they're able to.
They can't kosher them and cook them outside.
That's a big problem.
That's a big problem. What do they do?
Throw them in the dumpster.
Really? That's a that's even worse in certain respects.
The Maisa should be easy, fast. The Rebbe actually once I mentioned that we have the Gemara says that Shlomo Melech, the Chanukas Bayis Rishon, was before Yom Kippur. For 7 days they partied. And the 7th day fell out on, in the middle of the 7 days was Yom Kippur. That year, they did not fast.
So Mama Dafka make a party.
And later on, they were worried that maybe we did something wrong. And a Baskal came up to Shemayim that it was okay and it was accepted what they did that year because of the Goydel HaSimcha. So the Rebbe one time mentioned that could be the Mashiach will come now. We won't have to be Goydel HaSimcha. Could be that we won't have to fast, possibly based on this Gemara.
Before Yom Kippur. Before it's
Fast is a fast that remains. Fast that remains.
We're gonna keep your Kippur.
No.
It's a din of the Torah. They can't be battled. Tayyag mitzvahs. Mitzvahs any batalis. You can't be battled. Isha B'Av, everything will turn the Tzayim as a simcha, but Yom Kippur B'Etzem is not a Even of Avelis. So we have no pasuk saying it's going to change over. It's some hayom hazeh. The Rebbe is only saying by the first time. Rabbi said the Rebbe only said it could be the first time the Chanukas Abayis. Building the base of Mikvah Shlishi now. Not that the entire Gula Sida is going to battle Yom Kippur. Chas v'sholem. Just that could be that if you Mashiach comes down, we build the base of Mikvah now. So the Chanukas Abayis, the base of Mikvah Shlishi, that's Simcha. Laila Gut Yontif. Go to Gumaksim Toiva.
Thank you.
Toiva, easy, fast. Everything should be good.
Other than the Amira,